Okay, now we're going to look at the next section here. Now, previously we looked at the obvious ways we may have been rejected, and then the little known or unintentional, I guess, rejection. And now we're going to begin to look at the emotional results as a result of the rejection. And again, we are not here to blame mom and dad. Again, we're just here to look at what's going on within you. One of the things that's going to happen, depending on the severity of the rejection, is feelings of worthlessness. If Dad spent more time watching TV, on his phone, doing things that he wants to do, reading the newspaper, whatever, I'm going to begin to develop feelings of worthlessness. I'm going to feel worth less, than his activities, whether it's the TV or a book or phone or whatever. I'm going to feel worth less than that, so I'm going to develop feelings of worthlessness. Again, kids spell love T-I-M-E. Okay? The next emotional result can be just wishing you'd not been born. And the reason that folks get to that place is because of the severe emotional pain that they have felt over the years, and they want to escape that. And they feel like, well, if mom and dad doesn't love me, nobody will. So they have those, they'll say things like that. The next one is feelings of inferiority. Just not feeling as good as other people. And if kids aren't allowed to try things and experience life and so forth, again, they don't have the confidence that they need, and that they are going to begin to have those negative feelings of inferiority. And another one is inability to express feelings. Again, if you weren't loved and hugged and had a part of that, then what's going to happen is you're going to pass along the rejection, so to speak. So it's very important that we do that. Another one is depression. See, depression is anger turned inward. And when people are depressed long enough, they're going to explode or implode, and that depression is the evidence of that things are not going well. And depression, I think, is a built-in mechanism by God that's telling us that we've got some issues in life that we're not happy with. And what this will do, since we have these negative feelings and beliefs about ourselves going on within us, and it leads to the depression, and it gets the physical body out of whack, and the body does not produce serotonin as it should. And so that's why they give antidepressants, which is trying to build the serotonin. Another issue is going to be emotional insulation. And we're going to kind of put up a wall. I'm just going to let you so close because I have been rejected so much. I know it's coming, and so rather than allowing you to get close to me, I'm going to keep a wall up. Because I know how painful this is. If I let you in, I know that you're going to hurt me. And then another one is subjectivity. And that's being controlled by your emotions. And this also can lead us into looking for emotional experiences in our spiritual life. We've gone by feeling so much that we feel like we think that if we're not feeling something, that the Lord's not with us. And what also happens with this is our emotions can get stuck. And let me give you an example of that. Let's say that I'm outside and I almost step on a big old poisonous snake. And I don't like any kind of snake, but I almost step on this snake, and of course, what's my emotions going to do on a scale of 1 to 10? It's going to go to a 12, okay? And so I get away, no more danger, so my emotions are going to begin to slowly settle down. Well, about the time they get settled down, a big old spider runs up my arm. Here goes my emotions again. Now, an example of what I'm trying to say is, if you have a snake for a daddy, and a spider for a mama that's always keeping you upset. See, your emotions are going to get stuck up here on about a 7 or an 8 level. And now I'm stuck on about a half or maybe a 1, and nothing excites me too much. And so when a 2 or 3 issue comes along, I go from a 1 to a 4. Okay? When you're stuck at 7 or 8 and a little issue comes along, then you're peaked out, and that's why that some people become very emotional over small issues. So that's what can happen to us. Another one, emotional result is introspection. In other words, I'm always examining myself. I'm always looking inward to see how I measure up with other people. And that's not the way the Lord wants you to live. Another one is perfectionism. And here's what perfectionism says. Perfectionism says, love me for what I can do because I don't feel like you love me for who I am. And so that's what drives people to perfectionism. If I get it right, if I get it perfect, you have got to love me. And that's what drives us. Now, there's a balance here, and God wants us to do things right, and we need to do the best we can, but perfectionism can carry it to an extreme that's just totally unreasonable. Another emotional result is in me from rejection is going to be little self-discipline. Okay? I am not going to be very disciplined. And if kids are told what to do and when to do it and how to do it and not allowed to experience things, in other words, this discipline is partly learned. And so I need to learn early on in the decision-making process. And another one is irresponsibility, and that described me for many, many years. And here's where irresponsibility comes from. I didn't have any confidence. So I put things off, don't want to deal with it. And why would I put it off? Well, I put it off because I have a fear of failing. Do I feel guilty over putting it off? Yes. But the guilt that I feel is actually less than the fear I have of failing, because we don't think much of heroes or of failures. The losing team is not a hero. We don't give them parades. So that's where irresponsibility comes in. And then another one, you're going to live with a lot of worries, doubts, and fears. And this comes about because you've had so many negative experiences. You doubt things are ever going to get any better, and you just live in this fear. And it's a major problem. I've said for many years, I think fear may be one of our greatest sins. Another emotional result is going to be self-condemnation. Others have put me down. Others have told me that I couldn't do things right, that I didn't measure up. They compared me to others. And so that's where I'm down on myself, because, again, nobody else feels good about me, so I'm not going to feel good about myself. And when we get to this place, one evidence of that is it's very difficult for you to take a compliment, and for that reason. Another one is self-hatred. And we just don't like ourselves. Just don't like ourselves. And I believe that self-hatred is probably one of our biggest causes for sickness and disease. Because we are made spirit, soul, body. We're a 3-part being. And anything that goes on in any one part affects the other. And when you have these feelings and beliefs about yourself, and this self-hatred going on within your soul, within your emotions, it spills over into the body, and the body says, okay, well, if you hate yourself, I'm going to hate myself too. And so the body will begin to self-destruct in a sense. And so this is a very, very big issue. And then lastly, we're going to talk about is guilt. Some people just feel guilty for breathing the air. They just feel guilty over everything. They think everything is their fault, and when it's not, but that's the way they feel. So we're going to stop here. I recommend that you go back over these again and try to identify yourself in these. And I want to say something to you here, especially to you born-again believers. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Right? You've just been programmed wrong, and you've been lied to in a sense, because you're God's special creation. Again, He doesn't make junk. You're unique for a reason. So we're going to get you reprogrammed here, so stay with us. God bless.